Good morning. My name is Tammy, and I'd like to welcome you to SoFly's Unique Boutique. This is my FlossTube channel about cross-stitch quilting and whatever else I can get my hands on too. This is FlossTube number 96, and today is June 27th, 2025, and I think we should get started. I have no finishes, at least not yet. I'm very close to one. I might have to up my stitches a little bit, but I'm very close to, actually two. But this past weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday was Fancy Life Frolic, or SoFly's Unique Boutique's Fancy Life Frolic. And basically what that was is for anybody who joined me to work on, if you have fancy ladies, if you have, you know, anything you think is a fancy whip. I worked on 3. They were all, well, one was a new start last week, and then the other 2 were new starts this past weekend. Plus I worked on what I consider to be fancy flowers. My motif Monday was 4 Seasons Summer, and you know, that kind of thing. So to me, those are fancy things, because I'm not a big one for samplers. I'm not a big one for, I like Quaker samplers, but you know, not really a big one for a lot of that kind of thing. So let's get started, shall we? Alright, I'm going to start with, this was a new start for me. Actually, let's start with this one. I don't know how well this picture is going to come out, so but it may not be fancy to you, or what you know, it's just what I think is fancy. And for some reason, I love the look of a Gothic frame. To me, that's, you know, all the little doodads and curlicues and whatnot around them. I really like the look of, you know, that kind of frame. So I started this is Goth Girls. It was a sal put on by Lizzie's Little Loops, and this was number 1, Gothic Girls Wednesday. I think there's 8 of them, but here she is, and I was able to count over and start like right over here on the frame, because the frame is what, for me, is what I consider to be fancy. So I started this on June 22nd, 2025. It's Goth Girl Wednesday. I'm stitching this on an 18 count vintage storm clouds using the called for DMC. There's 3,422 stitches, and out of that I got 201 stitches complete. My goal is 1,500, and I am at 5.87%. And that's what it looks like. That's the top of the frame. So there's that one. And basically, you know, the colors are Oh, there's a lot of black, so I'm starting with black. Okay. And then the next one it's Gothic Queen of Hearts, and this is by Celtic Rose Needlecraft, or cross stitch on Etsy. And this kind of looks like a playing / tarot card. There's like the queen up here, the Q for the queen, and then the Q for the queen down here. And I love it. I love this one and what it looks like. And I have a couple of these. Well, this is my second one, but I have another one that I started over the summer last year. And I started this on June 19th, 2025. And I'm stitching it on a 20 count easy guide. And I'm using all the called for DMC. My goal is 5,000. Now, out of 113,230 stitches, I have completed 842. And I'm at 0.74%. I'm not even at 1% yet. But here is right. And I know my goal for this was 1,000, and I'm still going to try to get that 1,000 in. I'm just not quite sure yet. But I do believe I'm going to just keep continuing with the black down this way. So, that's as far as I've gotten. And you can see that Q coming in quite well. Okay. Well, I did 600 stitches. That's what brought me to 842. And then stay. Okay, the next one I worked on, and I absolutely love this one, and I want to get back to it. A lot of confetti, I will admit, which I don't love that, but I'm... Okay, what to do with those other pictures? Okay. This is Butterfly Days, and it is by Ingrid Jean AI Art, and it is charted by Stitches So Beautiful. It's 400 by 384, and it's got 108 colors. And I started this on June 20th, 2025. I'm stitching it on a 20 count easy guide. I'm using the called for DMC. My goal is 5,000. And out of 154,600 stitches, I have 304. And I am at 0.19%. Yeah. But here it is. So I'm still working up here, and I'm missing a few colors, so I'm just waiting for those to come in. And there it is. I'll be glad when I get out of confetti and into more block color, more block stitching, but you know what? I can deal with it for now. So yeah. So there's that. Okay. Now, Let's see. What did I work on? Ah, yes, here it is. I don't have a very good picture of this one, so we're just going to go with what I got. I'm not going to try to have you look at a terrible picture. But this is Halloween Quaker 3. And number 3, and it is from Tinsel Cross Stitch. I started this on May 12th. I'm using a 25 count vintage storm clouds. I'm using DMC 3799. My goal is 2,500. Out of 10,133, I have completed 1,578 stitches, and I am at 15.57%. So I finished this Death's Head moth, and I am working on this little bat motif. So there's 4 bats. And then I'm going to try to add the bat in here, and then hopefully I'll have enough room across the top to get the other 3 motifs. Shoot. So I did 221 stitches on this. And what I was trying to do was work on some of my temperature stitching that did not work out, and that was on there, and that didn't get anything. So I got ink all over me. Okay. The next thing I worked on was my Snort Stack by Plum Street Samplers. My 3 little pinks. And I started this on August 14th, 2023. I'm stitching on a 16 count French Latte Ada, Country French Latte Ada. I'm using all the called for colors, and they are Crescent and Weeks and so on and so forth. No, Classic and Weeks. My goal is 300 stitches. I try to get 300 stitches every time I pull this out. So I am up to 1,000. That's wrong. Okay, I am up to 1,521. And I put in 300 stitches the other day. And what did I do? Okay. I finished this flower. I put this green in here. Worked on the butterfly. I'm filling in the pig. And I worked some more on the border here and here. So the next time I work on this, I'm going to be working on the pig again. Try to get the pig done, and then work on the mound that he is standing on. So, yes. It's getting closer. Every time I put 300 stitches in, it's getting closer to a finish. And that is what I want. I could also start working on it 100 stitches a day. If I want to. Okay. So that's Snort Stack. Okay. And then trying to figure out what's what here. should have printed out the pictures for these ones too, but I don't. So I will try to show you a picture of it. Okay. I started because it was spun for my Four Seasons winter sampler from Soda Stitch. Yes, I started this on June 21st, 2025. And let's go after this. There we go. And I'm using an 18 count Rit die, Ada, that I dyed myself. I'm using the call for DMC. The goal is 2,500 stitches. Out of 6,656, I have completed 305. And I am at 4.58%. There it is. I like the little cookie cutters. Or cookies, I should say. And here's my progress. I wanted to get some of the outlining done and then do some of the inside, the elements inside. And these are all going in the same bag, because they all have pretty much the same colors. Okay. So, next. Okay, I did work on my galaxy flowers. And finally I bit the bullet and I had the purple ones in pattern paper, so I just changed the colors to teal. And then I'm going to change the colors back to purple. So this is the one right here that I'm working on. I'm using white, I believe. Okay. This is Galaxy Flowers by 1 by 2x2 Stitch Art. It started on May 15th, 2024. I'm stitching it on an 18 count white Ada, and I'm using the called for DMC. My goal is every time I pick it up I do 300 stitches. Well, what I did do was I did 500 and some change. Because out of 6,226 stitches, I got 1,818 complete, and I am at 29.20%. And here's what we look like. So I've been working over here on this flower, and this is also part of my fancy life. Because to me, you know, I like certain flowers, like daffodils and tulips and, you know, other types. Lilacs are one of my favorites because of the smell. So yeah, for me, fancy flowers are a wonderful thing. Okay. So I got 549 stitches complete. And that was one of my temperature stitches. So I'm changing things around next month. Okay. For Motif Monday, I worked on Four Seasons Summer. And I also worked on this one for I Spy. That's against the light. Here we go. I also worked on this for I Spy. So I got 217 stitches completed. Because on Motif Monday, I have to complete at least 200 stitches. So this is Four Seasons Summer by Soda Stitch. I started this on May 30th, 2025. I'm using an 18 count confetti by Picture This Plus. I'm using the called for DMC, and my goal is 2,500 stitches. Out of 6,258, I've completed 439 stitches, and I am at 7.02%. And here we go. I got rid of I had the anchor in the wrong place, so I got rid of that and started it down here. I've got to replace the stitches that I did take out. I finished up the conch shell, and the prompt on I Spy was something that was scallop shaped. That would be this right here. Granted, it's a scallop shaped shell, but that's the best I could do. So there we are. There's that. And I find these little Soda Stitch things very fun. You know, granted I'm going to have to print out something for the back stitching, but you know what, that's okay. Alright. Next. Okay, so that was Motif Monday. Alright, and then I also worked on my Summer Quicker by Jardin Prive. And I put in 191 stitches. So for the goal for June, it was 500 stitches. So I started this on June 6, 2025. I'm doing it on an 18 count Ariel from Pictures Plus. I'm using the called for DMC. My big goal is 2,500 stitches. Now for June, all I wanted was 5. So after 191 stitches, I got a grand total of 596. And I'm very thrilled with how this is coming out. Very, very thrilled. So I have the alphabet almost done. And I'm working over here to get work. It's the beginning of that motif. It's the beginning of this motif here. I love the variegation. I'm not using the call for DMC. I'm using Sulky 4016. And I love Sulky. You only need one thread. You can get a lot out of that thread, depending upon how long or short you cut it. So there is that one. Now today is full coverage Friday, so I am working on coffee abstract. And the problem is I goofed and now I have to do some frogging. Not thrilled with that idea, but you know, not much I can do about it. I made a mistake and now I gotta fix it. Okay, where are you, Coffee Abstract? I know you're here somewhere. They did have an update on Pattern Keeper, but it wasn't how to put things in a certain order. Which is what I would have liked, but you know, it is what it is. I hope, you know, I would have been happy without even, you know, being alphabetical order, just any sort of order. So when I get groups of patterns, I try to put them all in together. Okay. This is Coffee Abstract, and I'm working on up here on this cup. So there it is. I'm not sure, but starting on July 1st, I'm going to be doing my 2 miles a day for the month of July. Let's hope. And then I'm going to be doing, and I have to get those 2 miles in before I stitch on a certain project. And that project is also going to tie in with the semi-sane June focus piece for the month of June, or the June focus challenge, which is one piece trying to get every 1,000 stitches. You have to take a picture, and you know, I don't know if it's a before and after picture, but that's what I'm going to do. That way you can see the 1,000. So I might use my Coffee Abstract for that. I don't know yet. I have to decide this weekend. So. Alright, so we don't have to worry about that one. Alright. Then I worked on, and this was also for I Spy, because I needed something that started with a U. So, Bees and Honey is by Ulyss Blue Designs on Etsy. And so I need to work on some of it, so I did. And I'm liking it, but I don't think the rest of them I'm going to do on 25 count. I'm not sure. We'll see. Oh, come on. There we go. See it a little bit. I'm still working on the border. But this is what I worked on for I Spy. Started with a U. I'm doing this on Bees and Honeys by Ulyss Blue. Started on April 24th, 2025. Stitching it on a 25 count vintage smoky white. I'm using the called for DMC. My goal is 1,000 stitches. Out of 11,703, I have accomplished 560, and I am at 4.79%. And the reason that I stopped stitching on it was because I was trying to fill in this yellow, and I kept getting, couldn't really see it as well as I wanted to. So, there it is. So it's just that little space of yellow, and I might have to do it first thing in the morning when it's not as light outside. So there's that one. I like it. I really do. Bees and honey. So I got 260 stitches on that one. Alright, next. Aha. One of the new starts. Does new start? Yes. There's a new start. So we have a new start seasonal 100 that I did not work on, 500 that I did not start, and 1,000 I didn't touch. I completely forgot. Trust me when I say I won't do that again. Alright, so I started Wizard Gnome number 3. This is Slytherin. Or it's supposed to be Slytherin. And I got 212 stitches. There we go. So all I worked on was the cauldron. So you have gray here, and then black here, and black over here. And I'm doing this on an 18 count pearl gray. And did I even bother to write it down? Aha, I think I might have. That's Wizard Gnome number 1. Wizard Gnome number 2. We have a Wizard Gnome number 3, possibly. Aha, Wizard Gnome number 3. Started this on June 25th. This is from FlossTube.com. I'm using an 18 count Grit dyed pearl gray that I did myself, and I'm using all the called for DMC. The goal is 2,500, and I have so far 212 stitches done. So, as you can see, let me show up on this picture. Oh yes, it does. But there's two different. There's a gray and black. So I did the gray, the black, and then I'm going to move my way down. The next time it gets called up. So what I'm trying to do is every time I pick this up is to put at least 200 stitches in it. If I get more, awesome. Okay. So what's it going? Okay. Here's a favorite. I have a picture of this one, thank goodness. This is Fairy Rabbit, and I got this from Cross Stitch Paterns, Paterns, on Etsy. And I have it in Pattern Keeper. So I had to do I had to do some shuffling around. Okay, so I started this on February 12th, 2024. I'm stitching this on an 18 count easy count, and I'm using all the called for DMC. My goal is 5,000 stitches. Out of 15,000, now keep in mind I had to put in the stuff that I already did. Out of 15,876, I had 2,500 completed. And I was at 15.75%. And that's when I put that all in. Okay, and then I did 270 stitches. So that brought me up to 2,702 stitches, and I am at 17.2%. And I forgot how much I love working on this. So, here's where I am. What did I do? I'm trying to remember. Okay, I think I finished off this part of the light blue, and then added this part. And I still didn't get them all in. Not all the ones that I had originally put in. But that's okay. They'll come around. So, yes, I will definitely work on that again. So, that was for Wonderland Wednesday. So I got 202 stitches. Sorry. Okay. That's done. 270 was completely different. Whip. Okay. Have to see if I can find a button. Is that it? No. I'm missing one. Somewhere. Unless I put it in a different bag. Well, I worked on it. Alright, so I pulled out family portrait. It's only half the picture, but you know what, that's okay. So I put 270 stitches in this, and have quite an interesting collection of paper here. This is Family Portrait by Mama Witch X Stitch. I started this on September 23rd, 2023. Using it, I'm stitching it on a 16 touch of gray. I'm using the called for DMC. Now, my goal is 5,000. I counted all the stitches that I had done because some of them weren't colored. So I wanted to get those counted and colored. So, out of that 5,000, I already had completed was 733. And then once I added 270, I am up to 1,030 stitches. And right now she looks like a Day of the Dead doll because I haven't finished her face. But there she is. Okay, the orange. I'm not sure about that. I'll have to see what it looks like when the hair is complete. See if it looks like that. But yeah, so I started working on a part of her dress. I've got part of her arm finished. I need to work on her other boob. Get the other puffy part of her shirt done, and finish her face. Because she looks very creepy with her face that way. But I'm liking it, except that I'm really not sure about that hair. I don't know. We'll have to see. But anyway, so I was very happy to get this out. I kind of been thinking about it, and I wanted to get some done, so I got some done. So there's that one. And then I worked on Harry Potter. And it's starting to really irk me. Did I put it in here? Oh, right here. Okay, this was my last new start. This was the Thanksgiving gnome. And I only put in one color, 666. Yes. That's all I put in. This is from Favorite Gnome. And oh shoot, I don't remember the day I started it, to be totally honest with you. There it is. Working on the hat. So I just used that one color. I'm stitching this on a 18 count oaken. And I'm using the called for DMC. My goal is 2,500 stitches, of course. There is 5,403 stitches on this, and I have completed 402. And I am at 7.44%. And that's just with 666. So, yeah. Cool. So, I think next time I pick this up, I'm going to work on his face. And I'm going to do a complete overhaul of my little container down here because things are changing for July. Alright, Harry Potter. But he's staying out. Harry Potter is staying out, and because I only have a little over 900 stitches left. So hopefully he'll be done soon. Okay, Harry, where are you? Where are you? Oh, there you are. Okay. This is Harry Potter. And the only thing I have not completed is the rest of the envelope and that bottom block and filling in the Patronus. Still have some gray to put in, and then the rest is all white. And I hate white. I'm saving it for last. I have to be out of my mind. But anyway, I started this one on December 5th, 2024. It was my snow day stitch, and then it turned into my May Focus full coverage. But now, focusing on finish. I'm using 18 count, easy count. I'm using the called for DMC. My goal is 1,000 stitches, but I've been getting 300 every time. There is 5,760 stitches. I am at 48,001. Because I got 301 stitches. So, yes, that's everything. This is the last one. So I am at 83.35%, and I have 959 stitches remaining. according to my calculations. And here we are. Worked on this yesterday. I hate stitching white. So from now on, when I do something that has a lot of white in it, is full coverage, I'm not going to be using, I'm going to be using a colored, and I'll just put, you know, grid it out myself. So, there we go. So this whole section here is done. I have to finish up this section here, and then move over to this section here, and then fill in the rest of the gray, and then fill in the white. I think I might work on the Paterns next. So, that's it. I'm very excited that it's almost done. I've done one tiny little full coverage. It was like this big. So Harry will be staying. Okay, yeah, that's it. Alright. Now we're gonna go on. The only thing I received as far as stash enhancements was fabric and thread. That's it. No, that's not it. Sorry, I lied. I did buy, I went on Stitch is So Beautiful. Yeah, big mistake. And they weren't even having a sale. Nope. I just went nuts. I literally went nuts. Alright. So, I think I bought 4 or 5 of them. Shame on me. I don't know how many bobbins I've earned for the month, but every 1,000 stitches I earn a bobbin. So, done 8,000 stitches as far as I know. So, need to add them up for the rest of the month, and I'll take it from there. But yeah, I went a little overboard. But since I won't be buying anything else until probably November, figured I could do that. Okay. Saw those. Okay, this is Probable Cause by mainly_xstitch on Etsy. In order to have a murder of crows, there must be probable cause. And I don't think that's more than one. I don't know if it's monochromatic or not. And then, I'm not quite sure where I got this one, but this is the Pumpkin King. And everybody knows how much I love Jack Skellington. And then from Soda Stitch, well, I'm not going to be able to see it very well, but it's Polar Bear Ornament. Soda Stitch, Sewing Owls. Not one owl on there. No, Sewing something. This is Valentine Owls from Soda Stitch. This is the Christmas Gnome from Soda Stitch. This is Sampler 80 from 2x2 Stitch Art. This is the Lilac Dreams Dragon Small from Stitches So Beautiful. Gnome in purple. This is Jolie Petite Filet from Stitches So Beautiful. Look at her. She is beautiful. Then we have, whoops, Raven 2, small. I have a feeling that that whole background is confetti, confetti, and more confetti. So that ought to be interesting. We have, oh, no. This is Coffee, and it's a small one, supposedly. And oh my god, look at her! I couldn't resist. That's just so cute. And then we have Candy Cane Tree. And then we have Aristocratic Afternoon. This is by Xanacog Coswell. Not Cogswell, Coswell. And it looks like the Queen of Hearts White Rabbit, or the White Rabbit from Alice in Wonderland. It's 400 by 700. They're getting bigger, people. And yeah, that one I'm gonna put on. And this one is Squirrel Silhouette. There we go. Really cute. It's cute. So, one of these I could pick to do 1,000 stitches or work on for the month of July. Not quite sure yet. I was actually thinking about maybe working on my Halloween Quaker, because I've got plenty of stitches in that I could get done. I don't know. Or my Thanksgiving Quaker. I know there's ink on it because I had an issue with ink. And then I also got this. This is from Wanderling Stitches. It is Hare and Honeybees, and there's a whole bunch of these on Etsy, and I just happened to get this one. They have ones with strawberries, they have ones with thistles, acorns, so on and so forth. So I might be getting some more of these. So, alright, so plans for July, or for at least next week. July plants. Goals. Okay, first off, since Monday is the 30th, and I try to work on this one at the end of the month. Because I started it on New Year's Eve. This is going to be my Motif Monday. So it's going to be deer and owl. Do I have a card for this? Yes, I do. Okay, this is from Narna X Stitch, and I started it on December 31st, 2024. I'm using a 16 count white Aida, and I'm using the called for DMC. My goal is 2,000 stitches. Last time I picked this up, I got 320, which has brought me up to 1,423 stitches. This is how much I've gotten done. So I'm going to try to get another anywhere from 300 to 500 stitches in here, even though I only have to work 200 of it. So maybe 200 to 400. I don't know. We'll see. But that's the one I'm picking for Motif Monday. Now, considering next Friday is the 4th of July, I am probably going to either, I think I'm going to wait till Saturday to record. So I'll be recording on July 5th. Okay. Now, for Wonderland Wednesday, it's going to be Alice Snow Globe. I think I might have that one in here. Yes. So this will get another 200 stitches. And I am doing this on an 18 count Picture This Plus Mint using the called for DMC, and so far I have 676 stitches on it. And when I first started it, my goal was just 100 stitches at a time. So now we're working on 200 stitches. And I think I'm going to finish up the vine above her head, get the, the leaves on it. Maybe hopefully work on this flower here. I don't know, we'll see. There's also another flower. There's this flower here. And then finish up this. So, there it is. Start working on the globe itself. Right. And then we're not going to worry about the full coverage, but that's Fairy Rabbit, which is good. Alright. So my full coverage Friday today is Coffee Abstract. And get 400 stitches. Might take all day. Still have to walk my dog. Yeah. Alright. And then my whips for the week, I'll have to find them, but they're going to be Nightmare Before Christmas, Christmas Quaker, and Dobby. And then the goals for 500 are Such a Fright, Gothic Light, and Halloween Squirrel. So, I'm going to have to find a few things here. Yeah. So I'm going to put you on pause for a second, and then I'm going to find a few things. Alright, sorry about that. There was one thing I forgot to do. So, we're going to go on to the Tiny Decisions wheels. And because my husband had to kind of debug my phone, he put it back to factory settings, or as close to factory settings as he could get, which means I lost some things, which means I had to redo my Tiny Decisions wheels. So I kind of like it better this way. So what we are going to do is we have starts, well, you're not going to be able to see it, but Gnome's Seasonals Samplers 1,000 and 30,000 stitches wheels, and we also have my there's 10 1,000 stitches for the month. So I want to try to get maybe 2 or 3 done a week, hopefully, we'll see, and take it from there. Now, new start. Cute Halloween. And we're going to try to get at least 300 stitches on that. Okay. Next one is my gnomes. Skeleton gnome. And 3 to 5. Okay. And then the seasonal. Summer Owl. I have no idea where that one is, so I can't show you a picture of that one yet. That will be also a new start. 3 to 500. Okay. Next is the samplers. Alice in Wonderland #1. Now, I think I know which one that is. Yeah, I do know which one that is. So, where that's a sampler, it's huge. Trust me, it is huge. We're going to go with 500 at least. If I get more, awesome. If not. Now, for 1,000 stitches, I'm going to pick one. Winter Cometh. Oof. And since there's only 3 on here, if I finish 1,000 stitches on Winter Cometh, we can do it again, or whatever. And then the 3,000. Which one that is too. Owl. Let's see. 3,000. Did I get a 3,000 by the end of the month? Awesome. Okay, Claudia. That's the one we're doing together. Let's do it to it, sweetheart. Okay, and last but not least is we're going to pick one for July, well, to start July. And this is 1,000 stitches. So we got the cat sampler. Okay. Most of these I can show you Is this the one? Yeah, this is the one. Okay. So, cute Halloween. Come on, where are you? Nope. This is cute Halloween. Not sure where I got this one, but figure it out. So there's that one. The next one was, well, why don't we find Alice in Wonderland? Oop, it's right there. This is Alice in Wonderland 1, and I think this is from Needle and Candle and Needle, not sure. But it's monochromatic. I've been waiting to start this one for a long time. I don't know if I want to do all the border. I think I might just do this inside part. Like with the rabbit and Alice and Curiouser and follow the white rabbit. That. I don't think I'm going to do the whole thing. And then I'll oops. This is the one I'm doing with my friend Claudia. And I gotta try to get 1,000 stitches on this one. No, 3,000 stitches on that one. Ooh. Okay. And then Winter Cometh is from Summerhouse Stitch Works. This is my starting point. So I need to get 1,000 stitches on that one. And now, which one did Cat Sample? Okay. Now these are the ones. Okay. These right here. Not that one. But the rest of these are, except for one that I can't seem to find right now, but I'll show you a picture of it. Coffee Abstract, you know what that looks like. Alice Snow Globe, we know what that looks like. Cute Halloween. Skeleton Gnome. I am so today. I had a really, I don't know, weird week, I guess. On Saturday, I decided I wanted to redecorate my dining So I found a cute little wallpaper border that I can put in the middle of the wall. So I'm going to do, the top of the wall is going to be one color, the bottom of the wall is going to be another color. Which, I kind of like that idea. And so we got a really nice light blue and a really nice, or a nice medium blue and a nice darker blue. Rebecca helped me pick them out a whole bit. But when we bought the house, there was a window. There's a door that separates the kitchen from the dining area, and now there's a window. I hate that window. I want it gone. Well, according to what my husband said, because the countertop, and they're very nice granite countertops, can't be cut. Because it's all the way up to the wall. We can't technically take out the window. But I think he's going to take the molding out and put like a little barn door type of deal, which I think will look very nice. Because I got a kind of chicken motif wallpaper border to put up. So my daughter and I are going to be doing some painting. That'll be fun. And we're going to be doing some wallpapering. So, see how it goes. Alright, what am I looking for? Oh, yeah. I think, yes. Alright. Here's my gnome that I'm going to start. This is a skeleton gnome. Day of the Dead gnome, whatever you want to call it. The only thing I don't have a picture for is the summer owl. The summer owl. Okay. So, number 1 for the month is the deer and the owl, which I showed you already. Number 2 is the fox, which is no, that's not it. Where did I forget to take it with me? Oh, Lord. Losing my mind, I tell you people. Losing it. Well, cottage garden samplings, the fox. Next is number 3 is woodcut raven. So if I can get 1,000 stitches on that one, that would be great. The next one is Alice's Mad Plant. 1,000 stitches ought to finish that one right up. Next one is Alice's Mad Tea Party. Right? Yes. Mad Tea Party. Mad Hatter Tea Party. It's just border. It's going to be border for the longest time, I'll tell you. And then one after that is the cat sampler. This is from Cozy Home Paterns AU on Etsy. They're still on Etsy. I'm doing it on an 18 count. No, 25 count. I'm doing this on started this on May 1st, 2025. I'm using a 25 count pearl Lugana. I'm using Sulky 4016, and out of 2,500 stitches I got 360 complete. So getting 1,000 would be good. So every 100 I do, I can do 100 for 10 days, 200 for 5 days, 300 for whatever. And then we have the Arctic Fox. I don't have a picture of this one either, but here's where I am. I haven't worked on this one in a while. It's time. So the cat sampler is the one I'm going to do first. And then I'm wondering if this is the one that I'm supposed to do. Yes. Then we have the chamomile tea gnome. That's what that looks like. So if when I get 1,000 stitches done on, say, the cat sampler, spin the wheel again, and do another one, spin the wheel again, do another one. So it's a continuous thing. I'm not quite sure where the icy winter one went, but it's got to be around here somewhere. I am going to keep out Harry Potter, yeah. And I'm going to clean up my mess and walk my dog. So I think I'm going to walk my dog first. So anyway, I do have to pick a 200 stitch a day for walking 2 miles. I don't know. Let's see. Also, I think what did I spin for? And then next month, the 1,000 stitch projects will change. So whatever gets finished this month is awesome. Whatever doesn't, we'll put in a different rotation. Same with the ones that I didn't finish for June. They go in a different rotation. Like, I just pick one for the heck of it and work on it on either Tuesday or Thursday. So, but other than that, I hope that you have a wonderful weekend. I hope that you keep on stitching on, and I will be back on Saturday, July 5th. Have a wonderful 4th, everyone. Keep on stitching on.